Welcome everybody to Too Legit to Crit, a discussion show about tabletop role-playing games, hosted by the human equivalent of Dungeons & Dragons 4th edition. My name is John Santana.
Oh, and I'm still Justin.
I had a feeling you might like that one.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Oh my gosh, dude.
To be fair, I never actually played 4th edition. I'm going off public opinion.
Exactly, and that's the best bit. Is you're not wrong.
I know there's someone out there that's listened to that and kind of going, "Oh, fuck you guys, I enjoyed 4th edition."
Yeah, and for every one of those people, there's a million others who go, "Nah, it was shit," and that's just like real life for us. 1 in a million people is like, "No, that guy's all right." Everyone else, nah, he's a prick.
It's Justin Taylor, and it is a good look on you.
It is. You know, I've had it for a while, and I think I rock it well.
You do. You definitely rock it. If there was anybody in the world I'd peg to be Justin Taylor, it's you, man.
It's this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I actually, when I was a kid, I went to school with another Justin Taylor, right?
Sounds like a
cunt. Well, this was the funny bit. They referred to me as Justin, and they started calling him by his middle name.
Really?
Yeah, because they couldn't differentiate between the two of us.
So you just like flat out, oi bruv, change your name.
We just changed his name, yeah. So he became Mark. Because that was his middle name. Oh, one of the teachers even took like a whiteboard marker and drew a circle on the top of his hand. So he was like, "You're Mark."
Now that's borderline abuse.
It was funny.
Oh, I'm not debating that. But
it's private school, so it's a learning situation.
So do you think that somewhere out in the world is a Mark Taylor who's just sat there seething?
Yeah, because now somebody's stolen his name.
Because he had his name taken away from him.
I mean, quite probably. It's entirely possible. Whether he's listening to this or not, I don't know. If you are, let us know.
Mark, if you're there. Mark, if you're there. No, I'm not going to call you Justin. It's going to get too confusing for me. Very cosmic horror-y, which...
Yeah, that's been your kick at the minute.
It has, and it didn't disappoint.
Awesome.
So there were mechanics involved that didn't quite replicate the insanity mechanics of stuff like Call of Cthulhu and Delta Green, but it had a Pathfinder equivalent, which I thought was fantastic.
Yeah.
And it also had like a list of visions that the players could have.
Oh, I like that. I like
up to me.
Like that.
Yeah, left up to me when to drop them. And some of the visions went from puzzling to horrifying. So yeah, all in all, it was a fantastic weekend, and I've just kind of semi-recovered from it, and now I'm planning the next get-together, which is in 2 weeks' time.
So more busyness is what I'm hearing.
More busyness.
Fantastic.
I don't plan to be running in this one, so...
I love that I don't plan to, knowing full well you'll probably end up.
If there is a sudden uptake of people wanting to come and play at the lodge, then 100% I will dust off a scenario and happily run it. So we'll just have to kind of see how it goes. I'm going to prep something just in case.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was a really, really great weekend, and there will be more happening. That's awesome. Stay tuned.
Yeah, well, sounds like everyone had a great time, and I'm glad that it was well received. That's always nice when you put in a lot of hard work and it goes over well.
Yeah, I think that's the kind of takeaway I got from it as well. Plus, it was a bit of a homecoming for me because I haven't played in person for about 7 months.
just a little while then.
Just a tiny bit, just a minute.
Little bit, yeah. been a hot minute.
And that's just purely been down to circumstance.
Yeah.
You know, parental responsibilities and things like that, which take priority. So I just haven't had the availability. So it was good to actually get back into the store in person. It was good to roll physical dice. It was good to see the terror in my players' eyes.
Yeah.
Which I don't get to see over Discord.
No, you don't. You don't. I feel like it's an element you're missing. Yeah, it's an element you're missing.
It is. You know, at my age, it is hard to get an erection. So.
Oh God, and I can't even edit that out because you do the editing.
Oh, that is 100% staying in.
I know.
I mean, I put a mature warning on this for a reason. That's not because of you.
Oh, I'm well aware it's not because of me. I'm well aware of that fact. Oh, right.
Which, you know, is going on the list.
Dude, I don't know why, but whenever I hear us say it's going on the list, all I can think of is that fucking TikTok. You know, the straight in my basket.
Well, yeah, it is similar.
That's all I can hear. It's going straight on my list.
That actually makes sense, and the difference is that dude became a fucking millionaire off of that.
Yeah, we likely won't.
We likely won't. You know, I don't see kids repeating, we're going to add that to the list in 7 years' time.
Well, I mean, they'll be saying it. It just won't be quoting us.
I wonder if we can actually trademark it so every time somebody says it, regardless of context, we get paid.
Oh, that'd be amazing. Think about how many times they talk about lists in films.
Exactly, and, you know, just someone kind of going, yeah, we need... Mavis, yeah, we need to get toilet roll. Okay, I'll add it to the list. And all of a sudden...
fuck.
There's a knock on the door and it's the Pinkertons. That'll be 20p, please. Yeah, I will look into that.
Cool. Well, I guess if we get it on a t-shirt and make like a catchphrase, I think that's the only way we'd be able to do it, really. So we have to do the t-shirt thing.
But I mean, there's always that story about I think, and I may be wrong because I'm quoting this from memory, is Gene Simmons. He trademarked do you know the picture of like the loot bag with the dollar sign on it?
Yeah.
He trademarked it.
No way.
Yeah.
Is that why they stopped doing that for like robbers and stuff in films?
I have no idea, but yeah.
Oh, that's so funny if that's true.
I need to actually confirm this, but I heard it. I think it was on one of the Kevin Smith podcasts where he mentioned it. And
oh, that's fucking brilliant. Oh my gosh.
Gene Simmons loot bag. Yep, he trademarked it.
Oh, that's actually incredible.
That's genius. That is genius.
Yeah, that is.
So, yeah, we need to trademark something.
But do you reckon that's genuinely why they stopped using that as for, like, robbers and stuff in cartoons and stuff? Because, like, that kind of stopped around the same sort of time. Because I just Googled it, right? And when he kind of did that, that's around the time that cartoons and that stopped using it.
It would kind of make sense, to be honest. You know, it's kind of like the OGL debacle, but in other ventures. It's like...
Yeah, pretty much.
We don't need to use this, so let's use something else instead. Let's use a money bag with a pound sign on it.
Just change the currency. No, this is clearly different because it's got euros on it, mate.
Yeah, and I think you'll find it's a money satchel.
Yeah. This is a fucking my brain's just gone dead. Oh no.
There's a joke in there somewhere, folks.
There
Wait
is.
for it.
There
Wait
is.
for it.
No, it's not gonna be worth it now. The moment's gone. The moment's gone. The worst thing is, right? I'm gonna remember at like 2 o'clock this morning. It's gonna come to me at like 2 in the morning, and you're gonna get a text. With
I was just thinking, I bet not get a fucking text over that.
No, you're getting it.
And chances are it's going to be the greatest joke ever fucking told.
I look forward to playing it once you have it.
Yeah.
In your grubby little mitts.
Yeah, the one I've actually backed the one with the hardcover as well.
Ooh,
yes,
fancy.
I'm getting physical with Tales of the Valiant.
Let's get physical. Sorry.
No, you almost had me joining in.
I know.
Yeah, I was starting to get my groove on and shit.
But I mean, so you mentioned 5e. I read something this week that was interesting to me. So you know how we actually kind of touched on this last week, where you called the new 1D&D 6e. So
yeah,
it's not even called 1D&D anymore.
I know, I saw it.
Wizards are like, yeah, we're not going to call it 1D&D. What are you going to call it? We don't know.
Yeah, it was like, that was never meant to be the name. And it was like, you put it out as the name.
Yeah, I think it was probably one of those like, you know, like the other thing we discussed where like it was called Project Black Flag until it got its actual name.
Yeah.
Tales of the Valiant. Which yeah, you know, I think that might have been what it was, is they were calling it 1D&D like behind closed doors, and it was never meant to go public, and somebody probably said it like in a, you know, in like an interview or something like that, and then they're like, well, fuck, we're gonna go with that now. And then like eventually they're like, right, it's getting a bit out of hand, guys. Let's
And now they have no fucking clue what they're gonna call it.
They're not a clue. It's brilliant. But you're not allowed to call it 1D&D. You're not allowed to call it the 6e. That's all we know.
When Starfall happened and all the elves essentially left planet, there were ones that stayed behind, which kind of burrowed deep into the planet of Galarian, where the radiation and the evil sort of influence from Rovagug transformed them into the Drow.
From who, sorry?
Rovagug. He's...
What, one more time?
He's the big bad, essentially.
Oh, but it's a funny name.
How dare you?
It's a funny name.
How dare you? It is.
Hey,
it is. Quite
D&D has some funny names as well, but that's a funny one too.
It is quite a funny name, but anyway.
It sounds like you know, like when a 2-year-old's trying to tell you about like a rover dog that their friend has. No, Rovagug. It's a Rovagug.
Perhaps that's probably where it came about. You know.
Honestly, I reckon that's where like 90% of fantasy names come from. They just give a word to a toddler, get the toddler to say it, but like, that's it. That's the name now.
I mean, to be honest, a lot of the names I come up with are a bit like that anyway.
I just whack my hand on the keyboard and see what comes out. There are no vowels. Perfect.
Like microphone table lamp. Just having a look at random shit around the room.
Like, oh, what's that NPC's name? Monstario Canifis.
But every time I do like an arc of the campaign and I create NPCs, I'll put one in, which is made me laugh so fucking much. And just hope that my players encounter them. I think in the last one, it was Thrushmore Deep Scratch or something like that.
Oh, that's good.
And they encountered him, and one of the players went, no, that can't be his fucking name. He just went, let me show you my notes that I did 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's my tavern now.
Were you part of that campaign that a mutual friend of ours ran? And it was in the... It was... We tried to infiltrate a drow camp and got captured.
No.
And I think I was playing a bard with the sort of archaeologist archetype, essentially Indiana Jones.
Yeah, nice.
And they kind of took us all for questioning and this, that, and the other. And, you know, they did the whole typical thing, oh, you can join us or die. And I went, yeah, I'll join you. I was like, okay, so, you know, roll deception. No, I'm not fucking lying.
No, I'm not lying. I'm joining. Sign me up.
I've been given an option. Either join or die. What do you think I'm going to choose? So then the GM kind of went, all right, fair enough. We're going to go put you back in your cell now. And yeah, fair enough. I'm going to see if I can convince the others. So the rest of the session was me in and out of character, convincing the rest of the players to switch sides.
Oh my god.
And I think I got all except one. So I was there, just sat in this cell, kind of going, you know, these guys have got a point.
So I would have been like, I'll join if they do dental. Like, have they got dental?
That's all I'm asking. We can ask. We can definitely ask.
That's all I'm asking. If they can provide dental, I'll sign up now.
Yeah, no, I mean, have you seen any with bad teeth? I mean, come on.
I've seen one with no teeth.
Well, you know.
But that might have been his problem.
Professionally extracted.
Barbarian just giving a big thumbs up.
Yeah, that was a really fun session.
Oh, mate, yeah, that sounds amazing.
It was great.
Oh. Yeah.
So, you know, the Wizards have had some support from unlikely sources. Probably people that are more involved with the development and publication of these products, rather than the
Joe Blogs on the street.
Yeah. Who, whenever you raise prices, the amount of times in the service industry where if I was working somewhere and we'd knock the prices up and you'd get the whole,
oh that was £4 last week.
I'm cool. Never coming back here again. And you'd see them the following week. It's like, dude.
Yeah.
Inflation happens.
That was always my favourite. I'll never shop here again. Cool, bye, see ya.
Have you ever seen that? Have you ever seen that bloke who basically puts out these scenarios and responds to them? Scott something. He's on Instagram and TikTok, and I'll send you some links. It's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, because dude, like some of the things that I've had from working in retail and stuff over the years was, oh my god, the arguments I've had. Jesus. I once had a 2-hour argument with a guy because the batteries in his remote went dead. I wish I was kidding. I really do. 2 hours of him just going, well, you should give me new batteries. Why? Why should I give you new batteries? You've had the TV for 7 years. I'm surprised they lasted that long.
There was and this was told to me, and I looked it up, and it's 100% true. There was a entertainment venue. To not really give anything away, I'm being purposely vague. An entertainment venue that closed down a few years ago, just at the beginning of COVID. And, you know, they put out this Facebook post going, blah, 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 due to, you know, whatever reasons.
Yeah.
We have to cease trading, etc., etc. Thank you for so many years of, you know, the usual sort of thing.
The usual copy pasta of business closing down, yeah.
And there was one comment, and it was, does this mean I'm not going to get my birthday vouchers honoured?
That sounds about right.
A mate of mine who was working there at the time of the closure just told me about it, and I just had to go on their Facebook feed and have a look, and it is fucking glorious.
Oh my god.
I do not miss dealing with customers.
Yeah, same, dude. It's honestly, I hated it. I hated them. It made me hate people. It really did.
I hate people anyway.
It was perfect industry for you, really. You already hated people. I get that.
Do you want to know the reason that they are giving for the change in canon?
I would love to know.
Well, apparently, all the accounts of drows were put in place by an unreliable Pathfinder agent.
So it's just some incompetent twat.
Yes. And I think that's fantastic.
Amazing. Oh, that's brilliant.
So everywhere.
So it's like essentially it's just like it's that age old. Oh no, it's just a mistranslation.
But instead of a mistranslation, it was like that was Dave. What a wanker.
Oh my god, that's actually fucking top tier.
I think it's brilliant. I think that is what has given me the most amount of joy.
Yeah.
That it's just been a case of, yeah, we thought Drow existed, but apparently
Turns out
it was Jeff.
Yeah, turns out it was just Jeff thinking he was funny. It was a practical joke. It got a bit out of hand. Deadlines were coming up.
Actually, a little tidbit about the Drow, and I genuinely do not know how reliable this is, but I find it fun. I was playing a Pathfinder Society scenario with an older, more seasoned player, and for some reason the topic of Drow came up.
Mm-hmm.
And according to this player, again, don't know how true it is, but it's great to think about, that the Drow were first envisioned by Gygax when he was going through a divorce. So that is why it's a matriarchal society. And I just find that fucking amazing.
Oh, I hope that's true.
That's his way of getting back at the ex. Fantastic. That is definitely something to look out for. Yeah, going on the list. This list is getting ridiculous.
This list is massive.
This list is huge. Speaking of like releases and all that, something I did want to run by you. The Lord of the Rings, if I remember correctly, the Lord of the Rings RPG is out.
Oh.
It's now available on DriveThruRPG.
Interesting.
So I wanted to offer you a proposition.
Okay.
Right. You are...
I like how you're doing this when we're recording so you can hold me to my word.
Exactly. That's why I didn't mention it in the warm-up.
Yeah, you didn't. You snuck this one in.
I did indeed. Obviously, out of the two of us, it's no secret that you are the 5e
Yes,
person.
yeah.
I am not the 5e person.
Yeah.
So what I was thinking is we run two games.
Mm-hmm.
You run a small adventure with me as a player, obviously. With the Lord of the Rings RPG.
Okay.
I, on the other hand, run an adventure with you as a player using the One Ring rules.
Ah, I see where this is going.
So, and then we just compare not necessarily to see which is better. I'm not interested in that.
Yeah. Just
to see
differences.
Yeah, how the different mechanics create a different experience.
I like that.
Yeah, I thought that the other day. It's like, that would be a really cool little experiment.
Yeah, I'd be down for that. I'd absolutely be down for that. I think that would be a really fun little bit of interestingness.
Yeah, and, it'd be, we could try out your tabletop.
Yes.
I know you're not going to want to do it online, so...
No, yeah, we can come sit at my lovely table.
Yeah, I'm not even going to propose that. So, yes, I will... so if they've got, like, individual starter scenarios, we could run that. If not, we'll just run something quick and easy.
Yeah.
And just to kind of gauge how the different mechanics affect the game experience, and I think that's... I think it's
fun.
It is the perfect product to try it on.
Yeah.
Because they are essentially the same thing.
Yeah. No, I think absolutely, yeah. Because It's really it's so hard to normally compare two different systems, right? Because they're trying to not necessarily achieve the same thing. Whereas here, that is obviously what they're trying to do, because they've essentially ported one system to a different system. So I think you're right. It'll be really, really interesting to see how the two compare and contrast.
So those two systems have now gone to the top of our list.
They have gone to the top of the list.
All right. So I'm glad you agree. I'm glad you're on board, and we shall update people with how it went.
That would have been a really short segment if I just went, no.
No, you know what? Fuck it.
No.
Fuck those hobbitses.
Fucking hobbitses.
Do you remember Pathfinder Unchained?
Rings a bell.
Pathfinder Unchained was a book that they brought out about halfway into Pathfinder First Edition's life. Mm-hmm. And it was a revision of a few of the classes.
Oh, so like one Pathfinder.
But it wasn't a new edition.
No, it wasn't a new edition.
But yeah, so they kind of, similar to what the remaster's going to be, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So they brought out this Pathfinder Unchained, and it landed really well. Like, for example, the Rogue was always underwhelming until the Unchained Rogue came along. The same with the Unchained Barbarian. Then they fucked the Summoner for some reason.
Because Summoner was broken.
Yeah, I played an Unchained version, and I ruined that fucking game.
Yeah, Summoner was broken. I built one Summoner, I was like, oh, I only have to try to break this.
Yeah, the original Summoner was nasty.
It was so bad.
But the Unchained one was a lot more nerfed, was a lot more balanced.
Yeah.
But even so, I mean, I had an Eidolon with an AC of 45 or something stupid.
Fuck you.
But the worst part was when I dismissed the Eidolon and just started fucking spamming summons.
Yeah.
I could Zerg rush any fucking encounter. And it was great. So that was Unchained, but also there was like a host of new rules in Unchained. The whole 3-action economy first appeared in Unchained.
Oh, okay.
But it just never kind of caught on.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that's what they're doing with Starfinder Enhanced. They're kind of revising a lot of things, not bringing out a new edition.
No
new editions here.
No new editions.
No new editions. And
this is not the new edition you were looking for.
No, this is not the one.
I know there was one that we looked at the other day, and I'm not going to mention any names for obvious reasons, but there was one that we looked at the other day where the math didn't really add up. I don't know if you recall that one.
I remember you pointing out flaw after flaw after flaw.
Well, because it was okay. So it was something that we were looking at for a news story for the podcast, and then I went down to the Kickstarter. I clicked on the link. I looked at it, and it was just like, there were so many issues with the math. Because it was like they were basically saying that if you put in X amount of money, right, we'll give you X amount of rewards. But if you added it up, you weren't actually getting any benefit, because they were saying like, oh, if you do it through the Kickstarter now, you'll get it at this price. But then if you look at the cost on release that they were quoting in the same Kickstarter, you get it at the same price.
Yeah, that was the one. That was the one that we read the article and went, Is this a paid advertisement?
Yeah. It read that way. It really did. It genuinely felt like we were reading, like, you know, like those Raid Shadow Legends things at the start of YouTube videos. Like, this video is sponsored by, like, those ones where, like, they're blatantly reading a script. And it's like, no, I'm not.
And there was no disclaimer on it to say it was a paid advertisement. It's like, this is... the journalist that wrote it, he's got something to do with it. He's probably the creator. It's going to offer a dynamic this and a dynamic that, and all these things really aggrandizing it.
It was like he'd copied and pasted the blurb off the back of their marketing pack. It was like, yeah, this is the story. Here's the link to the Kickstarter. That'll do. He had a deadline coming up. He was like, yeah, fuck it. Just copy and paste. That'll work.
Woke up hungover and just went, oh, for fuck's sake, I need to write an app. Let's click. There we go.
That one.
That'll do. It's news.
Sure, it's new information, therefore it is news. But yeah, so I think that's kind of my advice for looking at Kickstarters is make sure that the rewards actually outweigh the costs that you're putting down. Because if like you're paying like you just said, right, for the one that you've put in, you said like 60 quid, right? Fuck, I can't speak. So you put down 60 quid and you're getting way more than 60 quid's worth of rewards. So it's worth it. But if you put down 60 quid and you're only getting 40 quid's worth of rewards, you might as well wait for release.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's it. I think, we've all got that friend who kickstarts everything.
Yeah.
We've all got that friend who I've got a Kickstarter for this, I've got a Kickstarter for that, I've got a Kickstarter for the other. And don't get me wrong, when the things finally arrive and they're showing off their shit,
shelf,
it's like,
I should have done it. Yeah, I should have done it.
But at the same time, I think the amount of times that they've probably kickstarted something and it hasn't quite panned out, it is a leap of faith. You are investing.
I mean, case in point, on a Kickstarter that did similarly to that, again, I'm not going to mention any names, but there was one recently that they hit their goal for their Kickstarter, and then instead of releasing all the information, told everyone they had to donate 50% of their pledge to actually get the product again.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
And that was, to me, I read that and I was like, wait, what? So like people had pledged, like I think like the highest pledge that they had on the thing, without doing like custom pledges or whatever, like the highest one that they had listed was like I think it was like $120 or something, $129. So if you'd made that pledge and then you actually wanted the stuff that they'd offered you for that pledge, you had to put in like another $60. That's
insanity.
Yeah. And they did that across the board. Like, so if you put in like a $60 pledge, you have to put in an extra $30. So your $60 that you're like, oh yeah, the $60, that's worth it. With what I'm getting, was now a $90 pledge. But you're not getting the $90 pledges worth of stuff. You're still getting your $60 worth.
That is what we do. That is our brand.
We're taking that age-old thing that, like, grandparents used to say, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all, which is why we just don't.
I not quite, because if I held that up, I wouldn't say anything.
Okay, I've had a point well made.
So let's just say I'm selected.
Okay, when it comes to the news stories, we follow that.
Yeah. I mean, if I rag on Wizards of the Coast from time to time, who gives a fuck? I know they certainly don't.
I do.
You'll be fine, don't worry. You'll get over it.
I'll survive.
Okay, when Paizo fuck up royally, you can rag on them as much as you want.
I absolutely will. You don't think that's why I was checking the news stories this week?
See if they've done anything. See if there's been more.
Keep an eye. I'm literally sitting outside their head office every day, like waiting. I'm going through the trash. I'm trying to find something. Yeah, John's been smug for too long.
When I see something like that, I'd be like, I'm feeling ill. I can't podcast this week. I've come down with the lurgy.
I've got oh no, woe is me.
I got leprosy. Shall we get a question?
Fire away. I know we've got one because the person who sent it in told me earlier at the pub that they put in a question, but they wouldn't tell me what it was. So
I know, and I refused to tell you what it was.
Yeah,
once I learned that information.
I have no idea what this question is.
It's actually quite apt. And first of all, this question comes in once again from our good friend Couch. Yes. I think because he's sent in so many questions.
Oh, I literally told him today that we need to have him on the show so we can ask these questions live.
Well, that is one thing, yeah, but I think we need to somehow immortalise him on the show. So I was thinking, instead of saying, should we deal with some questions or whatever it is I say, should we go to Couch's Corner?
I love it.
Either Couch's Corner or should we go to the couch? Although that does sound like I'm coming on to you.
It does. I like that one. Let's do that one.
Let's go.
And the couch is all covered in saran wrap, right?
Oh, saran wrap everywhere, just in case.
Yeah.
So, Justin, you want to join me on the couch?
Yeah, let's go to the couch.
Well, I think that's about it from us tonight.
Yeah.
I want to once again thank you to Couch for sending in such a great question.
Yep.
Thank you to everyone that takes time out of their day to listen to us. And if you like what you hear, please review, please rate. That is how we're going to get more exposure. That is how we are going to grow. And you know, we kind of like the growth that we've had, and we kind of want to see more of it, and we want to be able to talk to a lot more of you.
Yes, that would be lovely. Don't get me wrong, all of you listening now are lovely people too, but it'd be nice to add some more lovely people to the group.
So it is wonderful to kind of be here, and you know, it keeps me busy for an hour. It keeps me entertained, and it's great to chat to you at least once a week, Justin.
Aww.
And you know, thank you for joining me in this endeavour.
That's all right.
So yeah, so join us next week where we'll be talking more shit about things we don't really know very much on.
Yep.
And thank you all. Good night.
Bye.